back to the Madco Fabs channel. So, giving you a little look-see look back there because it has been 2 weeks since I've posted a video. I had family come into town. I had some other things that needed to happen. Work schedule got a little complicated. Just dumb BS like that. Not that my family's dumb or work is, just you get what I'm saying. So, if you're looking around wondering why the garage is trashed, that's because I actually started making a video yesterday. I started on the wing assembly yesterday and how to run all that and what I was doing. And I realized halfway through the day that for some reason the SD card, the micro, it wasn't picking up anything. It was, but it wasn't saving it properly. So, ipso facto, had to come up with a new SD card. I'm walking you around too because I want you to get a good look at these countertops because they're sick. Video, I got it out there. But anyway, let's chit chat for a second. So this is the wing mount, and if you notice that piping is a different color than the piping down here, that's because this is tube, this is pipe. So what I'm getting at is, it's still early enough for a coffee. This is 1.5 inch exhaust pipe. This is 1.5 inch 120 wall DOM for roll bars, roll cages, things like that. This is for Toyota Priuses and things like that. I'm being funny. It could be in any vehicle you want to run 1.5 inch on. But I wanted to do a wing mount, and I wanted to have a wing, but I did not want to have the wing be made out of DOM. I didn't want it to be heavy and cumbersome, and just I didn't think that it needed to be that serious. So I decided I'd just go ahead and create it out of 1.5 inch DOM. And then I used a turnbuckle so that way I could just turn these inside or whatever. I had to tighten that one down a little bit, but that way I could change the pitch of the wing, you know. What I did was I smashed these down with a hammer, flattened them out, put them in the vise so I could get a nice clean line on both of them. And then I took my welder and I went around and I buzzed this edge. And then I cut the hole, and I buzzed the inside of the hole, and then I routed the hole back out with a carbide bit. And the reason I did all that is so that way this is all sealed. No moisture transfer, no water can get in and run down. You know, fun. So that's what I did yesterday. I had, a good 30 minutes of video ready to go. And like I said, the SD card ass fucked me. And that was, great. So, today, what do we need to do today? What's happening today? I don't have nuts and bolts to finish this, but I do have in stock more DOM ready to go. So I need to do a pipe here, bar here, and one adjacent from it on the other side. And then we need to do a bash bumper, and that'll be the end of pretty much everything back here. Now I can start doing tail lights and all that BS, get this all buttoned up and start moving my way forward. Rear brakes are ready to go. I've got the stuff to start rebuilding these. So like wheel cylinders, adjustment kits, spring kit, shoes. I'm gonna have to get the e-brake kit yet and run new cables, but that's here, it's ready to go. And if you're wondering why I have fertilizer, check that out, man. $6 for weed and feed when normally $23.42. God, gotta be thankful for that, So that's that. And then one more thing, check this out. 2021 Jeep Gladiator rims and tires, or at least rims. The tires were 255 or 275, 75 17s. And I ripped them off, and I had a set of these 215s at work. They're 17s. For what we're going to be doing in this truck, this is perfect. Endless supply of tires with no tread. But that's the rims that are going on the Tacoma. And yes, the bolt pattern is different, but I was going to put spacers on it anyway, so why not just do a 2 inch, bolt pattern. For some reason, my brain can't pick up on what the hell that thing's called right now. Adapter, a 2-inch adapter plate. Damn, I had to reach hard for that one. So I'm gonna get out some plumbing and we'll start figuring out what that pipe needs to be. Charge some GoPro batteries and get to work. So, like I said, welcome back to the channel. It's Matco Fabs. Camera's acting slow today. You push that record button and it takes it 10 seconds for it to actually start recording. Spring. Spring is upon us. Look at the buds on the trees in the last 2 days. It's crazy. Anywho, found another turnbuckle. Or I had another turnbuckle. I didn't have bolts. But I found some bolts. So that looks good. So as you can see here, that's this pipe's damn near a 50-degree angle, and I was goofing around and I got this one. I think this one's like almost a 50-degree angle too. It's pretty close. They're pretty close to the same. What I'm getting at is cutting the bottom side of this and then cutting your angles on this. You guys, I just wanted to do a little PSA real quick. Sneak up on this shit. If you got it cut here, take a little off and then check. Take a little off, check. Take a little off, check. Take a little off, check. Do that as many times as you need to get your fitment right. You know, do that as many times as you need to until that looks good. Because just guessing sucks. Yesterday, that video that I had going that got ruined, I had to redo that pipe over there 2 times, and I thought I was going to have to start back over, and I ended up getting away with what I had. But, like I said, just a little PSA. Now that I got this one done, I'm going to go ahead and make the one over there, which is a reverse of this one up here, so you can't use this bar to copy. You have to make another one. But we're almost to the part of the rear bumper, and we'll be done with the back of the truck. Alright, so we got the radiator bars in. I'm sure y'all are going to call them something else. So the goal for this truck is to put, right now I have a 2.4 liter RZ supercharger for it from LC Engineering. So I'll supercharge it and I'm going to run it like that until I blow it up. Now there's reasons, I know LS, blah, 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 guys. Look, I know all about it. There's a reason I'm running a supercharger. My dad had a like a early 2000s Toyota Tacoma TRD supercharged, and I loved the sound of that supercharger. I loved the sound of superchargers, period. I know I could have turboed it and made more power, blah, 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 blah. Look, for like emotional reasons and connection and just what I'm doing and being able to do it, I wanted a supercharger. And when I blow that up, which I will eventually blow that motor up, then I'm going to go V8. I'll either go 1JZ or I'll go LS. It'll probably end up being LS because it'll be a little easier and a little bit more options. Nonetheless, this is what this is for. So obviously I needed them for the roll cage, but I want to be able to put a radiator here at some point in time. If I put the radiator right here, that gives me more room up front. That and I mean, how badass baller would it be with a rear mount radiator setup? So there we go. We got those 2 bars in. So the only thing that's really left on this ass end that needs to be done is we need to do some kind of bash bar back here. Something to kind of clean it up a little bit and make it look good. A lot of the drift guys do a bar that goes across and then down and then a bar in the center. That way when you slide that jack underneath that bar in the center, you can lift it. Just jack it up 1 time or 2 times and it lifts the whole ass end up. You can get your tires off and blah, blah, blah. That might be the path I take. I kind of like the way that'll look on this. I could set that bar here and just do a spacer. 1 in the middle, 1 in the ends. I think that'll look good. So, I figure we can knock that out real quick. Here's my bar for that. My 2 pieces of leftover. I think that'll give us plenty. I got some leftover down there. So nonetheless, that's the next step on this. Like I said earlier, I am sorry y'all didn't get to see this. this build. I really did record and had a bunch ready to go. It was looking good. Just the setup and how I did it. You know, I liked it. And then, of course, but I'm shitty at recording anyway because I don't think about it. I just do work. That's how I've always been, and I guess that's how I'm always going to be. So I would like, should I show you me cutting and welding? No, because it's the same shit over and over and over and over again. So let me knock that out, and I will bring you back and show you that. But like I said, that's the last real piece for the whole ass end, and then it's done. Then I can go through and kind of weld everything up and get it all nice and tight and get it the way it needs to be. And then on to roll bar in the inside, or front bash bar. I don't really know yet what I want to do. But there we go. So what I did is I figured out the distance that I want this to be. And from this, basically the middle of this tire to the middle of this tire, I'm going to do 57 total inches. And then I'm going to do 57, and that's this pipe's at 57. I'm going to do 57 and a half, which is that mark right there. Then what I can do is take a piece of this, cut, 6 inches, tube notch it, leave one end regular, and then weld that like a T, sorry about the camera, weld that like a T this way. And then I can break off this end, and make myself, the hell was that? Make myself a, kind of like a, whoop, whoop, back down. Wish I had a way to show you me building it, but I suck at editing and I don't want to fast forward, and I have to have music on, y'all. It's something I have to do. So I just wanted to give you an idea. So I think what I'm gonna do is get all my pieces cut, and then I can show you all what I did. Okay, so see, I made a T, right? Just arbitrarily cut so it would match up. Now I need to make something like this. And then, like I said, the jack will slide underneath this, and then you just jack it up from right here. It lifts the whole truck up, one shot. Quick and easy. There we go. So now I'll just cut 2 of these pipes, get them all squared away, and bring you all back. So check it out. When you're using your tube notcher, shit, forgot my pencil. When you're using your tube notcher, there's something you need to do. And what you got to do is you got to figure out what the center of your pipe is. And let me tell you, when you're making compound bends, you must know the center of your pipe. I like to take my soapstone and just rub it right on the highest point. Sorry. I like to do it like that. That tells me that's the center of my pipe. And then I'll come under here. That tells me that I'm relatively close to center on that one too. The reason you're going to do this is so that way when you go and put it in the tube notcher, let me show you. Hang on. Sorry about the camera. So check it out. I've got a notch. I've got to cut this piece so it sits down on this pipe. There. I've got to cut that piece down there so it can sit down on the pipe. For me to cut that, I've got to know its orientation down at this end because I've already cut this end. This isn't that bad because both these cuts are going to be going the same direction. But like when you're doing something like this, where it's this way and then this one's this way, see how that one's the opposite? That sucks. Or like this one with a little bit of radius, where it's a little bit, it's not a clean 45, down into a straight run. You gotta have that shit marked, because if you don't know where center's at and you'll fuck up every time. I definitely had some issues, and like I told you all in the very beginning, this is the first time, you guys, I've ever ran tube. I've never done this before. This is not something I'm very versed in. It's actually kind of fun though, because you know, you're either good at it or you're not. And if you're not, then it takes practice. So I just wanted to show you that real quick. Now I can go ahead and cut that piece and get it organized and go on. You know what I mean? All right, so now I got like these cut. I got two of them. I got that one right there and this one right here. So now you get an idea of what it's going to look like. Now I can tack them on there and kind of get it in place and see if I like it and I like the setup. And if I do, I'm just going to go ahead and weld this whole one up. Screw it. But that's going to be the bash bar. And I know a lot of guys bend their ends. I don't want them bent. I want them straight. So that way if I put big monster meaties on there with the LS under the hood or something like that, then I can fit a giant damn tire back there. I don't have to worry about it. So now I'm just going to go ahead and weld this whole thing up, get it all cleaned up, and then I'm going to cut some spacers to hang this damn thing. I got to hang it. And it's going to be, you know, a little ways back from the back bumper. Should look good. There we go. It's a welded. It looks a good. Don't ask why I'm asking, like talking like Mario. All of a sudden just popped in my head and I was like, oh, I want to be Mario. These pieces, I'm gonna go ahead and notch each end of it. And then these are gonna go right here. Hold it on. I'm even thinking about doing a little bit of an angle. I don't know yet. We'll see what I get into. But you know how I am. I like to throw some style at everything. So it's starting to come together, and like I said, we'll weld that bash bar on there. I think I'm gonna cut some of this bash bar off. I don't think I need to have that much hanging, and I have the truck has to go down 2 more inches yet. I have it on its highest setting for the shocks and everything. So that's where we're at. That's what I'm doing. I'm gonna go ahead and mix these slugs, and yeah, let me start doing that. I'm gonna try to do this shit for you all one-handed. All right, so you see my witness mark on it? That's a white line. I'm gonna line that witness mark up with the peak of that triangle that holds the pipe. That way I know that I've got everything kind of straightened up and as tight as I can get it. Okay, now once I get it tight, I back it off a little bit. Now I have found that if I want to just notch the end of a pipe and I want to not take off any excess material that I need to, so basically half this diameter, right? I have found that that means that I need to move everything out to 1 3/4 inches. So that means right now, we'll come out a little bit. It'll be easier for me to come. Oh shit, look at that. Just nailed 1 3/4 inches. And you all got to see it. And it's still straight. Okay. So now I'll tighten it down and I'll slowly send it. Caution, it's loud. Yes, I have starting oil. Okay, so now that I got that one cut, I can just flip it and reverse the process. But see how it's like, once I shave all this and clean all this up, because you got to take your grinder and you got to clean all this up. You can't leave that thin metal there, because if you do, when you go to weld it up, when you go to burn it in, it'll just melt and then you won't have a good solid setup. So, let me flip this one over and get it cleaned up, clean both of them up, and we'll go get it in place, and I'll put them over there and see what we think. All right, so got it all laid out. Kick on the old welder. So now, as you can see, I tacked that one on there, and then I tacked it right there. That's what that little black dot is. But I tacked it, and I liked how it sat, and I was goofing around, and she fell. So What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna get her back up there, get her in place, tack it up, and see how I like it again. And then we'll see what it looks like. There. Now you can see it on the truck. Looks good. Looks real good. I set it back on a little bit of an angle. I don't know why I like it like that, but I do. I think it's because of that view right there. It gives you a shot at it. There we go. So now I can go through and just weld that whole thing in and be done with it. All right, well, you know how it is. Every show must end. But let's do some recapping. Capping of the you know what I'm saying? Let's check it out. Radiator bars are in. Uprights for the roll cage too. You have to have them. I mean, you don't have to have them, but it makes a lot more sense to have them. But eventually, when I do go V8, I can have my radiator sit here. Dual fans. It'll look sick as fuck. The adjustables on the wings. Just rotates. I mean, I wish I would have had all that on video. But you guys know how I am. It's hard for me to do this by myself and make a full video. But, and yes, this is exhaust tubing because it's not structural, it's not needed for rollover, none of that BS. Besides, even if you did DOM for this, it wouldn't matter because if you rolled the damn thing over, all you're gonna do is plant it in the damn ground. But, got the bash bar in. Looking good. I need to cut a little bit more off that bottom part right there, just a tiny bit. And I set it back on an angle, so I think it looks cool. And if you don't, well, guess what? Don't give a shit. So now, we're a lot further ahead than we were. Like I said, I'm sorry about the 2-week break. It just happened to be one of those things where I had to work and then I had family, and I put the channel to the side for the family, especially because, like, not right now am I making any money off of it, nor do I plan on really ever making any money off of it. But there we go. It is what it is. So, like I was saying, sorry about it. And next week's video, I don't know yet. I've got the stuff to start doing the rear drums. I was thinking about putting a video together for that, but it doesn't really matter. Got to do the roll bars or roll cage for the inside, and we got a front bash bar to do yet. Lower it 2 inches. We still got plenty of work to do, and then once we get done with all that BS, it's motor work. It's actual wrenching and stuff. So, you know what I'm gonna tell you? There ain't nothing to it but to do it, and do it right the first damn time, or as close to right as you can get it. I realize that not everybody can get it perfect. That's fine. Just get as close to perfect as you can get. Take your time, do it right. Madco Fabs, you know what I'm gonna tell you? You know what I'm gonna say? Thank you. Like, comment, subscribe, and good night, everybody.